Hello! So, today we're going to talk about my absolute best investment in life, which is people. The best thing I could ever do was invest in people because as an entrepreneur, at some point I just felt really burnt out and I couldn't really work that hard anymore. And I started really taking the time to analyze every single person working for me, and I trained them, I gently pushed them, I inspired them to trust in themselves, I gave them more tasks and more important tasks, and everyone has found their place. They're happy, they are running in peak condition, which is great for them and great for me and even greater for the company. Your team is your superpower. I know sometimes as an entrepreneur, you want to do everything yourself because let's face it, when you do it yourself, it's better. But the truth is, if they do it 80% as good as you, it's better if someone else does it. Delegate. Delegate. You have to be able to do everything because you need to be able to check everything. But teach them how to do it as good or even better as you. For example, accounting is not my favorite, but I have an accounting team and they're doing it better than me, and all I need to do is check. So sometimes it's better to hire people that are excellent in a certain aspect of what you need for your business and you just check them. Delegation is gold. Plus, you are going to have more free time to work on your business, not in your business. So understand the difference on working on your business versus working in your business. When I'm in Gili, in my business, all the small things come up. When I'm not here, they take care of all of that. When I'm away, like in Japan or in Thailand or in Europe, I'm working on my business every day. But there's a whole part of my brain that wakes up, which is the creative feminine part that's going to be like, oh my God, that's a great idea. Oh my God, I need to implant that. Oh my God. And all these things that you never find the right mindset for when you're in your business, they come to the surface. And these are your best ideas. So you need to be able to almost erase yourself. Of course, it's better when you're there, but everything needs to be running without you, and that takes time. But over time, you want to visualize that, and for that, you need to invest in people. Happiness is like my first rule. I always say for the people, okay, there's 3 rules. The first one is you need to be happy. The second one, honest pay, and honest resting times, which is super key. They feel valued and appreciated, and they're not burned out. They get 2 times more days off than anyone on the island. Usually it's 4 days off, which they take, it's like an island rule, not an Indonesian rule, in one go. And they go to Lombok to their family, which is the next island 10 minutes away by boat. And so they work nonstop for 3 weeks. But at the end of the 3 weeks, they're like, oh my God, try it. Oh my God, I did it in the beginning. And when I started this business, I was like, well, I'm going to introduce weekends to the island. So after insanity, after 6 months, they get 2 more days off. And after 1 year, they get 2 more. So they get 8 days off. So every 2 weeks, they can go for 4 days, which is much better. Honest paycheck. So I give them service and I also pay that honestly, which is not always the case in Indonesian businesses. So they can, when the business is thriving, they are thriving as well. And since they're the ones running it, it makes sense. And I'm really happy to pay that to them. I'm proud of them, and I even give them a bonus. Yeah. So for example, Ensik. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Ensik came to Gili Air, and I met him. He's the first person I hired, actually. We cleaned the first hotel we built together, Slow, together, and he had his hair all puffy, a t-shirt with holes, and he was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Okay, you have to give me your identity card." And he's like, "Oh, I don't have, but here's a paper from my village that I was born." I was like, "Okay." And that's how we started. And over the years now, I think he's been working for me 10, maybe 11 years. We've trained him all the way up to assistant manager, and it's not been easy for him because jealousy is really present, I think, everywhere in the world. But he's managed to really harness that role and learn, excel in all the things that we taught him. And I'm so proud of him. You know, there's a lot of things in life you can't put a price on, but they have so much value. And I think this is one of the things. And Yus is awesome. He was doing my internet for a while, and then one day he came to me and he said, "I want to work for you." So I said, "Yeah, you can start tomorrow, no worries." But of course, first talk to your employer, make sure that you leave peacefully and that you have time to train someone. But of course, he was awesome, always there, like accountable for, super good English, good looking, sweet man. And we had a really true connection. So I was like, yeah, you can work for me any day. He has evolved into a general manager. He is my double. He's my partner. He's everything. If I disappear, he can just run my businesses. Of course, it's better with me, but he's really, really, really great. And for a lot of things, he's actually better than me. So I learned from him too. Yeah, I'm super grateful for you. My business partner actually did exactly the same with me. They saw something in me and, yeah, basically trusted me with a $1 million investment, and overnight was a huge success. And everything I created is successful because of that first trust. And they also taught me everything that they knew so that I could run it as good as them. It's been a bit challenging, to be honest. It was a little bit too big for me, but it was still a great experience. So be careful. Sometimes you can make a golden prison for yourself. And yeah, think things through. Really visualize them and ask yourself, is that really going to make me happy? Is that what I want? Marcus, who has Tiger Mountain Pokhara Lodge, great man, incredible property, Nepal. If you ever want to go to Nepal, contact him. Told me one day, my manager is going to come and stay with you. And he said a beautiful sentence. He said, he's my retirement, which is true. You train the locals, right? What's the point of coming to a business in Indonesia or in Thailand or in Japan or wherever around the world? Ibiza. All dreams are fine. You pick yours. And not working with the local community, of course. That's the beauty. You can bring that knowledge to them and they can bring that knowledge to you. I've learned so much in this country, like to be patient. I'm the most impatient person in the world, but here you learn to wait in peace without getting nervous. I learned to communicate non-violently. I learned that I don't have to be angry to communicate a message. I can just say it really in a calm manner, but clear. So much better for me, because that dragon inside, when you're screaming at someone, first you're burning yourself. I always envision a dragon just, but the fire is burning you first. So yeah, learn from them. We got meetings, so one-on-one meetings every month, group meetings every week. Even when I'm not there, they do it. The minutes are recorded and kept and followed up. But it's really good because you sit down with your team weekly and then you sit down one-on-one, where it's almost like being the shrink of the company, really, because the most important is to you feel valued and appreciated, right? That's kind of how you keep going. That's kind of the diesel you put in your generator, right? Or the solar you put in your generator. And yeah, this is the most important. So I do one-on-one meetings. First, I really listen to them. I also use that with guests that are complaining or family members that get angry. I just sit down, I pause, and then I practice active listening. I can teach you that if you want. We can do a master class on that. Because people have forgotten how to listen. A lot of great things are lost because of bad communication. You listen and then people can just talk and let it all out. And then you validate, like, yeah, I agree, that's not cool. Because a lot of things happen because they can happen, but it's not something that was planned. Or so listen, validate, and then find solutions together. It's really important to do it together and then implement those solutions, and also find ways so that these things won't happen again in the future. So I have a little book as well, and I write everything in there because I leave, I travel, I don't. So I read every time we start a meeting again, and then I ask them about that before. Is that solutions? Did what we implemented work? Do you have still that problem or not? So they really feel heard. It's important. Team buildings. So I take them on holidays when I can, depending on how well we did. Once we flew them to Bali, and half of them had never been on the plane before. And we went to Waterbomb Park, which is the second biggest aquatic park in Asia. And also realized half of them can't swim, which is fun. But it was extraordinary. We still have incredible memories of it. I make an ID box, and they can throw in as many ideas as they want, where they want to go on holidays, and together we pick and we take them. And that's awesome. You need to work on wellness first, because it's no point half of your team being burned out, right? So invest in wellness for you, invest in wellness for your people, and erase yourself so you can be free to create more magic. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.